Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gifting you another free week ahead forecast reading, and it's going to cover today, which is Monday, November 26th, all the way through to Sunday, December 2nd, 2018. And I'm going to pull Oracle and Tarot cards today and channel messages from my spirit guides to share messages of wisdom with you and share with you what kind of experiences we'll have next week and some things we can look out for. And another thing I want to share is, even though this reading is specifically for the coming week, you can still watch this reading and take something from it if you come across this reading a year from now. This reading is timeless, and if you have stumbled upon this reading weeks from now, months from now, or even years from now, just know that there is still something that you can gain from this reading, and there is a reason that you have stumbled upon this reading. So please don't leave this video if you hear the date and think that you can't get anything from this reading. You can still get a message. Maybe there's something that I say in this reading that you need to hear, or a specific card that you need to see that will relate to you in your life, and it may bring you some kind of validation about an insight and intuition you had, or just give you some kind of message. So I wanted to add that before I begin this reading, just so you know that. This reading can cover a lot of different messages, not just for next week. So I shuffled this Sacred Creators deck before I turned this video on and started recording, and I was just shuffling it. I wasn't really asking a question. I was just shuffling for the fun of it. It's kind of like a meditation for me. I really enjoy just shuffling decks sometimes, even without a question in mind or an intention to receive messages. It's just fun for me. And this card came out, and I put it back in the deck and I started shuffling this deck again, and this card came out again. So I feel that this card has a message for next week, and it's a really beautiful card. It's got this calming effect to it when I look at it. It's got these really soft blues and soft white mixed in with the blue in this card, and it looks like a clear blue sky with wispy clouds, and it really does feel serene. It's got serenity to it, and it has a message about tranquility and finding peace. It says fierce serenity on it, and it has an image of a lion. So this week is going to bring a lot of serenity to us and a lot of peace, and it's going to be fiercely peaceful, fiercely serene in a very powerful and strong way. There's going to be a really strong essence of serenity for us next week, and this is a really positive message for us. And the number 8 is on this card, so that could be an extra message for one of you or many of you. Maybe you keep seeing the number 8 on the clock, and everywhere you go you see on a license plate, on an address, or anywhere you can see the number 8, you just happen to see it. And the number 8 has a message for you. I don't know my numbers very well. I actually recently felt inspired to learn more about numerology because numbers just seem to come up for me a lot, and they come up for other people as well. So you can, if you wish, you can look up the meaning of number 8, and maybe there will be a message there for you. So that's just an extra thing that is jumping out at me for this card. And to look at the blue, isn't it really peaceful? It just looks like a clear blue sky, but it also has these soft clouds within it, and it's a beautiful sky within this card. And the lion is really pretty too. It's got this gold drawing. So this is a really beautiful card to come out for us. And it's definitely not a coincidence that it came out twice. When a card comes out twice, there's a message from that card that's just screaming at you. So I had to show you this card. And here I have the Hidden Waters Tarot, and I have a color meaning chart that I have created myself, and a chart that helps me read the placement of the colors on the cards. So I'm going to pull a card from this deck that is going to represent next week, and it could show us what the energy is going to be, like what we're going to experience the most next week. So let's see what card comes out for us. And I'm asking my spirit guides to help pull the perfect card for us. Okay, they pulled 4, but I'm going to read just these 2. I pulled a couple of cards for myself earlier, and 2 Wands cards came out. It was the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So it's very interesting that 2 Wand cards came out this time also. So it seems that the energy that we're going to feel next week is going to be very fiery. It's going to be very passionate, like the fire element, because the fire element is correlated with the wand element in the tarot. And another thing that I noticed is the color red seemed to call to me today. I felt drawn to light these candles, and they're the color red. And I also wanted to use this Hidden Waters deck, which is mostly red. The backs are red. So the color red is symbolic of next week. And red is really vibrant, it's really bright, it stands out a lot. So there may be some things that will really jump out at you and just pop. And I'm channeling more messages, one sec. It's taking me a little bit for the next messages to come in and become clear to me. I'm seeing stores, like, you know when you walk in the mall and you see the mannequins dressed with these really nice outfits, and the signs just seem to pop, they really catch your eye. And I know today is Cyber Monday, and so a lot of websites and a lot of stores really want to catch your eye. And the deals, they want the deals to really be flashy and just pull you in so you will like buy something. And so the color red is symbolic of this. Like, there's a lot of sales going on, a lot of shopping, a lot of things that are really, I'm trying to think of the word, aesthetic, yeah. That's the word that I was trying to remember. So there's going to be a lot of aesthetics going on next week. There will be this focus on fashion, possibly dressing really nice, making things look really beautiful and eye-catching. They just catch your eye. I'm thinking of makeup artists, fashion stylists. Maybe there's going to be some kind of show, like Emmy Awards, something like that. Something that a lot of people are going to watch on TV next week. And the focus is going to be on how the people look on the show, how flashy things are, really extravagant performances. And I'm also thinking of New Orleans, how the women, they dress up in those really big outfits with the big feathers and the colorful dresses. Like, everything is so bright and colorful, and it just catches your eye, and you really admire the outfits and the way the people look and the buildings look and just things like that. That is coming up, and it's interesting because this card came out and you saw the lion, and it's outlined in gold, and gold is also a very flashy color and it's very valuable and prized for its beauty. So there's definitely something about beauty next week. A lot of beauty going on, and excuse me, it's possible that you will see more beauty next week and you'll admire it more. Maybe if there's things that you didn't really admire that often, like last year or last week, whatever time, but all of a sudden you see something in a new light and you see it as beautiful. Like, maybe there's an outfit that has been in your closet for so long, and next week there's a day that you look through your closet and you take the shirt out, and suddenly it's the best shirt that you have in your closet, and you just really admire the color of it, and you put it on and you ask yourself, why didn't I wear this 2 weeks ago, or only wore it once? So you're going to see things in a new light in that sense, and it could cover a lot of different things, not just wardrobe. So that's very, very interesting that that's coming up. So now I'm going to talk about the colors in these cards. Okay, so we have a lot of orange here in these cards, and orange means okay. Awake, high energy, and high spirited, having fun, feeling alive, and fully experiencing life. Gratitude and appreciation. And the appreciation is like seeing the beauty in things around you and within you as well, like the insights that you receive and the thoughts that you have, and just appreciating who you are and how you do things. There's going to be this appreciation about it and actually seeing the beauty in things. Being grateful for the food you have, the home you have. Maybe you're in bed one night and you think, oh wow, I'm so grateful that I can sleep in my own bed. Some people don't have a nice bed to sleep in, you know, like little things like that. But the gratitude and appreciation is going to be overwhelming and really something that you'll experience next week. And that's a really good feeling to have. And there may be a lot of movement next week. Things may be fast moving because the wands, if I remember right, the wands are fast because they correlate with the fire element. And like these candles, I'm just realizing. And fire moves fast. Like, think of a wildfire. It spreads really fast. It's fast moving. So things could start picking up for you in work or finances or projects that you've been working on, but they've been slow moving. They may start picking up for you. And orange is also about adventure, vitality, excitement, creativity, optimism, bright attitude, which is seeing the beauty in things, vibrancy, oh, like red, it's just very bright, it's very rich. And there's a psychic ability I wrote down here, clairgustance, which is psychic sense of smell. And so there may be a lot of baking also, because clairgustance, that psychic ability of smelling, spirit, like spirit makes you smell roses or some kind of flower, that can happen. But I think this is talking about baking and just walking into your house and smelling that rich smell of chocolate cookies, and it just warms you up and it takes you back to the good old days where your grandma or mom would bake cookies for you, and they remind you of a really comfortable time when you were younger. And it's the Christmas season now, and Christmas is all about that. Christmas also celebrates the color red. Red is a huge color for Christmas, so that could be another reason why the color red is coming through in this reading today. Red is symbolic of Christmas, and Christmas is just a really good time to spend with family and friends, and it's a time to appreciate the things we have and the people that we have relationships with and just really care about us. And it's about love and joy and happiness, and spending time with others. So that's coming through as well. I'm looking at these cards a little more just to see the colors. Okay, so we've got, like, it kind of looks like the color maroon, but it's also got red. I feel like I need to read to you the meaning of the color maroon because of this. Okay, so maroon means sophisticated business, career, co-worker, leadership, self-reliance, independence, mastery, and skill. So there could be a focus on your business this week or your work, anything like that. I'm just looking at this some more. And this is also going along with Cyber Monday and just how this time of year a lot of focus is on business and shopping and buying gifts. So that also correlates and talks about that. Let's see what else we have here. So we've got yellow up here. Got some yellow up here. And next I'm going to read blue. Okay. Yellow means joy and happiness, sunny days, lifted spirits, fulfillment, wholeness, well-being, friendship, and assurance. And these go along with the Christmas season and this time of year. Just with the lifted spirits and joy and happiness and feeling whole because you're spending time with your family or you are putting more time and focus into the meaningful things. Because Christmas, it reminds you of those things and it takes your focus back to what's meaningful in life. It's not so much about the money and your career, it's more so about family and friends and love and what makes you feel joy. That is what's meaningful, and so there's going to be a focus on that next week for us. Now I'm going to read to you what the color blue means, and the blue goes along with this Fierce Serenity card, so the color blue is also very significant to this reading today and has a message about next week pertaining to serenity. So you could see here, maybe you to be able to see this. Okay. Light blue means clairaudience, which is hearing spirit, listening, calming, inner calm, serenity. We've got serenity again here, and this card says serenity on it. So the color blue is just validating that there's going to be a lot of serenity next week. And it also says stillness, answers within, solitude, receiving, release, surrender, pause, gentle and healing energy. And the color blue, it really is a soft and gentle color, and it goes along with childhood and childhood memories, just being gentle and having that innocence and a childlike spirit. And so I was looking at these two cards, and before I was just looking at the colors and I was just focused on how both of these cards were like wands. They're both wands cards. And I realized that the Four of Wands here is a really, really positive card in the tarot. And for some reason it didn't dawn on me earlier, but I love this card. It's so positive. This card is about celebration with friends and family, or just celebrating something yourself. And it's a card of joy. In my tarot book, it says this card represents a domestic environment filled with fire, optimism, eagerness, and celebration. The people here are swept along by joy. In other words, their spirit and courage carry them from a defensive situation to an open one. And it talks about how this card is about optimism and love of freedom. And it carries the people together out of their walled city before it becomes a tower-like prison. And is talking about the Tower card. Like, the Four of Wands is liberation from being trapped or any kind of restriction. It's freedom from that, and it's the joy in life. So it's so positive that this card came out for next week. And I pulled a couple of other Four of Wands cards from 2 different decks. This one is from the Wildwood Tarot, and this is from the Hidden Realm Tarot. And you can see here that both cards show people celebrating and having a good time. And in this one, we see 4 people playing flutes, or this lady is actually playing a violin, but they're playing musical instruments. And on this side, these women, they're dancing. And so this goes along with what I was seeing with people dressing up in colorful outfits. And I actually received the message of what those events are called. It's the Mardi Gras down in New Orleans, and that is a perfect representation of a celebration. And I looked it up just because I was curious. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've seen some videos about it with a famous rapper. What's her name? Nicki Minaj. There's a video that I watched of one of her songs, and there's a scene in it where she's dressed up really extravagantly in these bright colors, and she's walking down a street with these other women dressed up as well, and they were celebrating Mardi Gras. And it's a parade and it's a celebration with other people. And so I feel that next week a lot of you are going to go out and hang out with friends and celebrate in some kind of way. Maybe you'll go to a concert or listen to some jazz music. Maybe you'll go to an orchestra, because I see these instruments and it's not like pop music, it's more instrumental music, like Christmas music, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, something like that. Or you'll go to the Zoo of Lights, or some kind of parade. I know there was a Thanksgiving parade on Thanksgiving that wasn't very far away. But I know there's probably other parades that are going to happen and other kind of celebrations to celebrate the holidays. And so there's going to be something like that next week going on. a lot of celebrations and get-togethers like that. And one other thing with these cards, so I took the Page of Wands out of the Hidden Realm Tarot, and I realized, or remembered more so, that the pages represent kids and children. So we're going to reconnect to our inner child and our childlike spirit. We're going to feel like kids again next week because of the holidays and the good memories and traditions that surround this kind of year. I know each family has their own tradition, and when we start baking cookies again, it's just the smell of the cookies and baking the cookies like you did so many times for the holidays, it just brings back really good, warm, and heartfelt memories of all of those times you spent with your family doing those traditions. And it just really warms your heart and you feel like a kid again because it takes you back to all of those times. So that is something that we will experience next week, and I'm really excited to see how these things will come up for me next week. There's some really, really positive messages coming through here, and it's really exciting. Ooh, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle this Universal cards deck to see what other messages my spirit guides have for next week. Actualization. Okay. Actualization of what? Oh wow, hope. That's beautiful. Okay, I feel like there's some more cards that want to come out here. I feel like... Okay. Power. Future. Water. Okay, so a lot of cards came out here. And so the first one that came out was the actualization card. And this card is all about manifesting something, like something in your career, some kind of project, or just simply actualizing joy, or more serenity. But I asked Spirit, so actualizing what for next week? And they pulled the Hope card. This was the next one that came out. So this is very beautiful. There's hope for more joy. There's hope for more love. There's hope for true love. That's something that Christmas is all about. Finding that true love and that spirit that we once had, but maybe some of it went away because of the seriousness and responsibilities of life, like our careers and work. It kind of drowns out joy sometimes. But next week is going to give us some hope for the future and emotional fulfillment because we have the Water card. The Water card came out, and the water element has a message about emotions. Any emotion, but the emotion that I keep hearing is joy and serenity also. So if there's hope for the future, that you will find that emotional fulfillment joy, happiness, love, all of those beautiful feelings that we all want to have every day. And over here we have the grief card along with power. So sometimes this time of year can actually create grief. So the way we can navigate that is through power. And it's in our power to do things differently and to create a better future for ourselves. We have the power to do that. And we also allow ourselves to feel hope and have hope, but we could also have ourselves not feel hope and have hope be lost. So it's up to us on what we choose to feel. We can choose to have hope for something, or we can choose to not have hope for something. We can choose to stay in our grief. Grief can cover a lot of different things. Grief is mostly loss. Maybe like the loss of hope, the loss of joy, the loss of love. Grief can cover the loss of that, like the loss of fulfillment, things like that, but it can also be physical things or even people that we have lost. And this time of year can really bring that up, because this year is all about family and friends and loved ones. So you may have to call upon your power next week, and your power is in hope for the future and doing things that create joy for yourself, things that you don't have to wait for. Maybe choosing to go out to see a movie with a friend when you're feeling sad one night. When you're feeling that grief, there's so many things you could do, or just finding peace with it in some way, writing about it, talking to someone about it, going to bed early sometimes. When we're tired, things like that can actually come up because we're tired, and we can become more emotional when we're tired. But then when you go to bed and you wake up in the morning, you just feel refreshed, and all of that it went away. You don't feel it anymore. So just getting like a good night's sleep as well, and just really paying attention to what you feel and figuring out what's in your power to get out of that place, to get into a better place, a place of peace and serenity, or a place of hope, that you can actualize something in the future, but you can also actualize something now. Little things can also create positive emotions in our life. So that's another thing that you can do next week. So let's see what my Whispers of Love Oracle deck wants to tell us, like what cards will come out for us. So asking my spirit guides, what things will we experience next week? What are some messages you want to share with us? Aw, this is such a beautiful card. It's got a really sweet message to it. What did I just tell you? You always have a choice as to what you should do. Like, you have a choice on what you want to feel. You have a choice if you want to feel hope for something or if you don't want to feel hopeful. We can shut down certain emotions, or we can choose love. We can choose love if we want. We can choose hope if we want. You always have a choice as to what you should do. It's always within your power. So I'm looking at this card some more. The number 21 is on here. The number 21 keeps coming up for me, and it's been my number. Maybe it's a number that you have been seeing also, but I am just surprised that it came out again. I did a personal reading for myself and 2 cards with the number 21 came out, so I'm just excited that this card came out and it has the number 21 on it. So it's like a message I could take from this reading as well. Something specific. I'm looking at this some more. And I'm seeing that there's a lot of people in this card. A lot of people spending time with each other. These kids are playing Ring Around the Rosie, and they're just dancing, moving around in circles. And these women, they're talking with each other. It looks like they're at a party. This group of people, they're sitting, and it looks like a lady is reading to them, maybe. And this person is playing a game, and these other people are just standing around watching the game. And we see these 2 people, this couple, dancing with each other. So this is just sharing a message with us about spending time with the people we love, with our partner or with our friends or with our family, and going to events like I was talking about earlier. Going out and seeing a movie with a friend, going to a concert, going to a parade, going to a ball, going to the Zoo of Lights. Maybe there are some Christmas lights already put up. I haven't been able to see a lot of Christmas lights yet, but maybe there's some neighborhoods close to you and they're already putting up their lights, and you want to drive around, drink some hot cocoa with your family or friends, and just look at the Christmas lights. Going to some kind of light show. I'm just thinking of different things that are fun to go to around this time of year. And dancing is another thing. I don't know, dancing is something that is just really fun to do, like going to a DJ, a club, going to a club. That's always fun for people. Or maybe like going to a class with some friends and learning some dance moves, like going to a dance class. Maybe you'll go to someone's wedding, possibly, because I see this couple here. Maybe some of you are going to get married. There's just a lot of joy and love in this card. These beautiful relationships with others and spending time with each other. So the big message for next week is choosing love. Spend time with the people you love and go to events that you love. Maybe take a painting class with someone. There's so many activities that you could do that like celebrates your relationship. And I keep seeing this butterfly, it's so pretty. And the butterfly is blue, and it's also orange. Blue has a message about serenity and peace, and orange is a very vibrant color. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of orange in these cards, and I read to you the meaning of the color orange. It's high energy, it's having fun, it's feeling alive, it's gratitude and appreciation, it's adventure, going places with friends and family and the people you love. It's excitement, it's creativity, it's optimism, like having hope. It's a bright attitude, it's vibrancy. It's we could also see a yellow flower next to this butterfly over here. And I talked about the color yellow earlier because it came out with this card. And yellow is symbolic of joy. I'm going to read to you the meaning of the color yellow again. So yellow means joy and happiness, sunny days, lifted spirits, fulfillment, wholeness, well-being, friendship, and assurance. So friendship, like the friendship with these people and like everyone in this card. And so this flower, it holds the promise that you'll find this next week. And the butterfly and flowers in this card, they also symbolize beauty and love as well. And I talked about how this week is going to be focused on aesthetics, but also beauty. And there's beauty in love, and there's beauty in joy, and there's beauty in friendship. And it's like this week you're going to smell the roses. You're going to stop and smell the roses, but you're also going to smell the roses with other people. It's not just going to be you. It's going to be you taking a walk with people and all of you stopping and smelling the roses and having a picnic and enjoying your company. And I also see that a lot of the people in this card, and even this lady, is wearing really, really nice outfits. Like this couple, they're wearing their wedding gowns. And these ladies over here, it looks like they're at a ball. And this guy, he's dressed up in golfing gear almost. And it's really laid back, but he's wearing a really nice outfit. And this lady is wearing what looks like a really nice dress. Like it would be made out of real fur. And it looks like fur on the outside of it, so there's an outline. And I talked about Mardi Gras and like the extravagant dresses, like ball gowns or wedding gowns. And so there could be an event where you will have to really dress up and put on makeup or just do your hair really nice. And you'll be fashion conscious because you'll go to an event like a ball or a wedding or some kind of event like that, and you want to look nice. And so this card also shows that. And there's a peacock in this card as well. And peacocks, they're really, really beautiful. And we admire their feathers, because they're so brightly colored. And they're really flashy birds. Like, if you come across a peacock, you just can't help but notice it and look at it. And so there will be a lot of those things next week. Whether you'll be walking down the street and there'll be someone playing a guitar, and you'll appreciate the music and the melody to it. Or someone will gift you some flowers or give you some kind of gift, and you'll really appreciate it, and it'll be really beautiful. And another thing I want to add about next week is there's going to be this strong element of music and dance, and a lot of events are going to be about music, like the orchestra, or listening to music with friends and dancing, or just enjoying the music. And the frequency and the melody will just lift you up and just change your mood entirely to that of joy and upliftment. So next week is going to be really positive. You're going to smile a lot like this boy and just have some kind of celebration with friends and family, and there's going to be a lot of this next week, and I'm really excited. So I hope that you were able to take away some messages from this reading, and I'd really love to see how this reading relates to your week ahead. I would love to hear about it, whatever experiences you have, and synchronicities that you may come across from watching this reading. And I wish you the best week and weekend. And if you would like to watch more videos on my channel and be notified of any new videos, you could subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to receive a personal reading from me, you can go to sunshinepsychicservice.com. I'll leave the link in the description box below so you can easily go to my website. I recently put up a New Year reading, if you were interested in that. And that's all I can think to say right now. So I hope you have a wonderful week next week, and have a beautiful day.